Presenting Eliano Ultra. I do my thing, the computer screen is a silent church. Conduct business under the pretense of a private search. I'm black, so selling crack is my de facto summer job. Buying power indivisible under God. The red line hood's used like a battle lab. And you came with refined goods in a saddlebag. Everybody's been on gridlock. We know that you ain't got apples right. Looking at the public institutions that was blackmails that their hands watch. Treat a nigga like a wanted man. When they extend to all the branch. So we gotta put the dead and it's on the one of them are smoking contraband. They always to the right and always in the wrong. And we ain't backing down because we knew it all along. I said they always to the right and always in the wrong. And we ain't backing down because we knew it all along. Yeah. You take advantage of the previous window, now paid allegiance to some evil sigil. Made a Christian right to strip my right to some legal limbo. Recontextualize a stormtrooper. Now it's what you're eating warm. Going out of squash one, busting cartwheels, doing arms used with a car producer. Rockabilly show the calm leader. Wanna ride the large winner, doing second talks to the devils to the hearts and weaponized on a class readers. What's the buzz? That was one for the legalese and it's got to turn to buzz. What's the buzz? You know everybody's died birth with a firework. What's the buzz? Like a mob is in the annoying projections of the corner bumps of baby bumps are fraudulent when they always to the right and always in the wrong. And we ain't backing down cause we know it all along. We know it all along. We know we was right. We know we was right. Intersect. When you intersect, dangerous things can happen. You got that perfect hair. You passed Eugene Fisher's test. In the context where expansion theories and the balance technologies intersect where they intersect where they hit. You got that perfect hair. You passed Eugene Fisher's test. In the context where expansion theories and the balance technologies intersect where they intersect where they hit. Presenting Equiano Ultra. Let's shoot. Let's get it. King Cookie Face. Make crowds happen. You got that perfect. Love's not around. Still it's uncomfortably near.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Dirty Jesus. We are on a... Can I stick a candle on there? Let's try... No, not immediately. Okay, hi. Late night, Dirty Jesus. What's going on, everybody? It is not always that we are on in the morning or in the daytime. Sometimes we make night calls. Dirty Jesus makes night calls, especially when he receives disciple messages such as follows. Okay. Go live. Just do it. Right now. Dirty Jesus at the helm. I'll pay. Just go live right now. No delays. So this was like, this was like 45 minutes ago, but I was on the town. But when I got this message, I immediately, knew that I had to, do unto a disciple what I know a disciple would do unto me. There is no hierarchy in the church of the cult of Dirty Jesus. There just isn't. So no delays. And then like immediately, yes, just start. do it, yes. And I was like, can it wait? And then he replied, yes. And I said, okay, don't lose steam on me, because I wasn't sure like what fuel was driving everything. And like, of course, you're not my bitch. Questionable. I would be. I'm open to any and all job as long as something pays or is, spiritually significant. I'm happy to do it. No worries. I just think it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity. That's good. It's the end of the world for Canadians, of course. And I don't want to see any group of patriotic people die, even if they're pretty passive aggressive and apologize when they don't mean it pretty regularly and have like mediocre television. Is this just going to be a big hangover? So deal with it right now, and I'm on board if you are. And then I let him know when I was close. And then this ensued. I think it's too late. Maybe I'm just insane. Don't let my stimulated brain die right now. So it often always is just a second too late. But I had left what I was doing, so I'm here. The phone lines are open if anyone else wants to call. If anyone else is experiencing patriotic like drug stimulation and need a safe space, an unsafe space, like I could be like the ketamine. I could be the nitrous oxide to your ketamine trip. Just a little, just boost it just ever so a little bit more, maybe, or maybe not. But en route to the studio, I did sacrifice something. A raccoon attempted to go at a perpendicular to me while I was careening around avoiding DWI checkpoints, and I sacrificed it, and I did not eat it because you don't eat roadkill, but also Bible lessons, you don't eat what you have sacrificed. And so the sacrifice must be for something. Do you know what I mean? Like I am here for an original reason that might be too late to properly exploit or have any significance towards the original intention and impulse of that disciple. But I'm here and I have some words. There are some words. But if the world is ending for Canadians, that's a thing, isn't it? Was there a terrorist attack that I don't know about? Oh, that was, who were we listening to? Bus driver. So if the world is indeed ending for Canadians, I would just like to suggest that this would be the anthem. If Canada was a Titanic ship and it was going down, this would probably be the song that you would want to go down with on 4, 3, 2, 1. But yeah, I could do late night too. I could do late night. I could do early morning. This stream could potentially, never stop. What are they talking about?
Yeah, well, maybe we should cheer him up then. What do you suppose we should do? Well, does he like butter tarts?
I was lying on the grass of Sunday morning of last week, indulging in my self-defeat.
No words. I know the words. Oh no.
Sharon looked so bad before.
I did once before, but this is pretty bad.
Yeah, what do you think she got up to last night? Sharon! I love you! I was lying on the bench, sliding hard across the street. L-A-T-E-R that week. My sticky palms ring the making straws at a big fast retreats.
That's really, really good. Look, that's like that's a trinity. It's a holy light trinity going on right there. That's fantastic. I should use this more often. But maybe this is just for like the late night version of the show. So, as I said, the phone lines are open to this one specific disciple, or maybe it's not that you need to call in necessarily. Maybe it's just more that you needed to know that that Dirty Jesus was around for you. Oh wait, there's more to that song? What do they do?
To the beat, yo. Rock, rock. To the beat, yo. And you don't stop. Rock.
And this is the part in the Canadian Titanic when everyone's like grabbing on to Flotsam and Jetsam. I guess so. That doesn't fit in with the rest of the song. Okay, so I haven't really prepared any Bible verses or anything to pass the time, like the way that we pass time. Pass time together. But just so you know, like I am here for your drug-stimulated brains that might need help. And see, now I'm just like, I'm overstimulated because now I've got this stupid chat window open because people chat to me during the show and I never notice it because I'm on the show, but then I've got this other screen and then I've got this other screen and it's just like so many screens, and I've got like this new light that I'm trying to work into interesting effect. That's pretty good. I'm gonna blow out the camera. I think Jesus, like, Like, help me, everyone, because, oh yeah, and this other stupid screen I have up, okay, it tells me there's one watching. Fantastic. I now know how many disciples are, or not even disciples, but then it gets problematic, because then this video screen on the page where it shows me that I can have the chat window people, like where I can communicate, is 10 seconds behind. So it's like, it's difficult enough to deal with trying not to look at myself in the live screen, but then I've got this one where it's not exactly what I'm doing, and then I'm curious and get, critical and self-judgmental of what I previously was. So just letting you know that there are technical challenges is the wrong word. There are technical joys with this experience of, having an available, not so much drug overdose. Like, if you overdose on drugs and are very physically ill, I would recommend that I can't be of much assistance unless I'm there with you. Likelihood is that if I'm there with you, I've probably done the same drugs, and I'm probably like not helpful. But if you are psychologically overdosing, I think that's a thing that not too many people think about, and that does happen. And when one psychologically overdoses, it can probably be, just as bad as something physical, because your entire world could be in a substantial state of rupture, and you might feel as though no one understands, and no one might understand like the minute specifics of what is going on, because it's sometimes like really, really hard to put into words when the universe is crumbling inside your head, and you're slipping and sliding into this like vortex of your thoughts, like tumbling off a precipice. But you could feel comfort in knowing that my hotline, because I think, in some cases a psychological drug overdose can feel deathly. It can feel so strong and imminent and immanent that that you would feel compelled to address the deeper issues of how close us living beings are to death at any given moment. And if you let it become, a highly dominant feeling that wraps you up, it can feel stronger than it is. And so I just want anyone who is psychologically overdosing, or who is overdosing on patriotism, because like patriotism is a thing that people can, where do I keep putting my alcohol? Can Dirty Jesus late night drink? Is drinking allowed? Drinking and streaming? Can I drink and stream? Yeah, but that's like it. So since it seems like the specific individual to whom I was coming to help no longer needs my direct help, or just, as I said, me being here is sufficient, oh, don't fucking get stuck in that. Does anyone have a specific part of the Bible they want me to read and interpret? I don't know, like, I just like don't, there are preachers far less available to their disciples than I, and far more ridiculous in their interpretation. No one whose testicles are crushed or whose penis is cut off shall be admitted to the assembly of the Lord. Deuteronomy 23, verse 1. Yeah, like how do I take this to the next level? What is the next level? I sincerely mean this humorously. I mean, you shall not plow with an ox and a donkey yoked together. Obviously. Do they not move at the same speed? You shall not wear clothes made of wool and linen woven together. Holy crap, I bet you everybody does that. But this is Deuteronomy, so these are rules for Jewish people. These are the laws of Moses. So for the vast majority of us who don't care about that weird initial Old Testament covenant, these are more humorous than anything else. And if we recall from our previous sermon, where we put to rest the sort of difficulties of being a non-heteronormative person and potentially still wanting to have favor with God. These are all just like, these are interesting instructional things that we could possibly consider for their, basis in history, but like don't actually really have to worry about. When you go out to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God hands them over to you, and you take them captive, suppose you see among the captives a beautiful woman whom you desire and want to marry, and so you shall bring her to your house. She shall shave her head, pare her nails, discard her captive's garb, and shall remain in your house a full month, mourning for her father and mother. After that you may go into her and be her husband, and she shall be your wife. But if you are not satisfied with her, you shall let her go free and not sell her for money. You must not treat her as a slave, since you have dishonored her. What if she has really nice hair, though, and like really bejangly nails? It seems like that's a dumb way for her to mourn. Like, what if you are attracted to her because of how nice her hair and nails are, and then you have to get rid of all that, and then you go into her and you're dissatisfied, and it's like, well, obviously she's bald and doesn't have anything to erotically scratch your back with. Crushed testicles. Crushed testicles, that doesn't sound very good. Oh, this is a good one. Every 7th year you shall grant a remission of debts. And this is the manner of the remission. Every creditor shall remit the claim that is held against a neighbor, not exacting it of a neighbor who is a member of the community, because the Lord's remission has been proclaimed. Of a foreigner you may exact it, but you must remit your claim on whatever any member of your community owes you. There will, however, be no one in need among you, because the Lord is sure to bless you. Well, this is good. This is like Jews helping other Jews out with credit. But of this foreigner, where you may continue to exact your debts. Be careful that you do not entertain a mean thought, thinking the seventh year, this year of remission is near, and therefore view your needy neighbor with hostility and give nothing. Your neighbor might cry to the Lord against you, and you would incur guilt. Give liberally and be ungrudging when you do so, for on this account the Lord your God will bless you in all your work and in all blah, blah, blah. You may eat any clean birds, but these are the ones that you shall not eat: the eagle, the vulture, the osprey, the buzzard, the kite of any kind. Who eats kites? The raven of any kind, the ostrich, the nighthawk, the seagull, the hawk of any kind. Well, then why did you say nighthawk? The little owl and the great owl. The middle owls are fine. Middle range owls are okay. The water hen and the desert owl, the carrion vulture and the cormorant, the stork and heron of any kind. These are all things you can't, by the way. These are all no's. The hoopoe and the bat. Well, a bat is not a bird, first of all. And all the winged insects, are unclean for you. They shall not be eaten. You may eat any cleaned winged creatures. So, cleaned winged creatures that aren't insects and aren't those birds that were listed. You shall not eat anything that dies of itself. You may give it to aliens residing in your towns for them to eat, or you may sell it to a foreigner. For you are a people holy to the Lord your God. This is very interesting. You shall not boil a kid in its mother's milk. Any type of kids. Look at all this. So many rules. So many rules. Whatever. Well, that's like all the Bible I can handle right now. What? But I will I can make a prayer. I can say a prayer to you, oh tripping one, oh one who What's this? Do I like this one? What's this? Oh God, this is gonna get me copywritten. I guess no, this is a slave song. This is a slave. You can't copyright. You can probably copyright anything. Don't let the drugs win. The drugs are not. The drugs aren't the problem. You're the problem. You took the drugs. We take drugs. We contour our minds and our experiences because we're bored or we're excited or because we believe that there's something more to life than simply what is in front of us. There's no difference between doing drugs and believing in God. And in many cases, belief in God was facilitated by drugs, by so many drugs, and by drugs, don't fall into the illusory legal illegal. So many wonderful natural things, if picked at the right time or aged properly in beautiful ways that humans figured out how to do, because a lot of things we do are really smart. But you know, it's when people spend too much time fixating their energies on simply the drug as opposed to the drug that is this life, the drug that is God, the dad drug, the big old dad drug that we exist in. So there we go. Take care of yourselves, and if anybody needs me for anything, just know I'm a phone call away for your distress, for any of your distresses. And the great likelihood is that the world isn't ending for Canadians or for anybody. The world is going to keep on persisting, and we together will keep on persisting. Just try to spend a little bit more time thinking about God and not so much about patriotism. Your countries are lies. They get you drunk one day a year so that you only minorly complain about paying taxes. Stop paying taxes on drugs. That seems ridiculous. Government authorized drugs? Don't get me started. Have a good night, everybody.